So I'll hand up there and we'll get to you. Yes?
A lot of times, news people will say that paranormal are out there to debunk, not prove. Is that right?
We're probably the biggest skeptics, I think, with this. So there is very much some truth to that. Because you don't want to go out there and prove that there's a spirit. I've always proved that, or going to prove that there's a raccoon or something. I've, been into a place where the closet opens up. So-and-so time, blah, 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 every day. I'm like, oh, cool. I take the front door and I'm like, hoo-ah! And I'm like, pressure. That's what we do. We don't go in, you're right. We don't go in looking, for the spirit of the ghost. And again, for us, it's not about, we know they exist. So it's not about, proving it more. I mean, we just want good quality evidence.
We want to make sure what happened was paranormal.
Yeah. Yep. Actually, I'll go to this lane and we'll head back to you. Hello, everyone. I am Aaron G. Thompson. The G is very important. It's not, but I like to throw it out there. There's no other Aaron Thompson that does this, but whatever. Actually, my grandfather, I was named after him. His name was Glenn, so after I graduated high school, I was with the G as a kind of a, respect. So that's where the G comes in.
Well,
boom.
Rap guy.
It's rap guy, and I used to be a rapper, underground. You can probably tell, right? Alright, you don't want to hear any of that. But we are Ghost Crier Paranormal Investigation. I roll some awesome people. The dude on the computer right there is Nick Simons. We've been investigating together for 8 years. At this point, myself, I've been researching and studying and progressively since 1999. Before reality TV was a reality. I was in there going, is anyone here? Anyone hear me? I changed up my methods a little bit since then. But I've had my falls and my rises. It's a learning experience, and it's neat to see us do it on this level as we're YouTube personalities. Any YouTube fans? Big there, Maddie. YouTube? Yes. There we go. We have one. That's all we need, guys. We are on YouTube, though. We're consistently throwing out videos because we want to share the evidence that we get. Not only do we put everything we get on there on YouTube, it's very scientific. We don't do the whole scare or the thrills that way. It's science. It's Edison at the end of the day. We want to progress this. We don't want to scare you. Though some of the situations we get into are interesting. But they're real, they're true, and they're pretty awesome. We put it all online. We're professional because we actually get paid to do this. Weird, huh? We're on patreon.com, so we get crowdfunded. It's kind of cool, and it's a way that they can lift us as an entity to not have a producer, in a sense, and really have control of what the content is so we can continue to progress. Our big focus is spiritual communication. That's right. Actually, you want to play that. This is a good intro. That kind of gives you an idea of how where we're coming from. So we keep everything a lot more lighthearted. Again, it goes back to science at the end of the day. And one of my mentors, and mind you, I've been in the field for a while, but I had the pleasure of reaching out, and I call him a mentor now. We speak quite frequently. Stephen Huff, who's very controversial. If any of you guys are familiar with his methods or his tactics, I'm not saying I agree with all of his methods and tactics, but I can agree that he's progressing the field in a way. So we are just kind of working together to see what we can do to push that awareness and to continue to bring those cell phone-like calls or those rough calls type communication. As you see, we do a lot. We are constantly on this, and this is how we want to present ourselves. GhostCrier.com. If you go there, we're doing events. We did a sold-out event yesterday, which we're going to do a reveal for those folks who was a part of that after everything goes out tonight. So that's a really cool value there. Also, a couple weeks ago, we did another sold-out event at an old Masonic temple. We've done a sold-out event over at the Edinburgh Manor. We bring a different type of personality, I think, to the format, and we just own it. At the end of the day, I mean, this is what our passion is. We are confident with going in with our techniques. We're more and more familiar with how to use the devices the more we conduct with them. We have also part of the Ghost Crier team as she's leaving. Kelly has been phenomenal on supporting and helping us kind of go to the next level too. So yeah, she's trying to sneak out. I had to get her before she did. No, we'll get her officially. I think we said in 2018. We'll transition that smoothly, but she's a huge asset. And we couldn't do any of this current documentation when we go to do some of our investigations. Our Halloween investigation is really wonderful. You guys should check it out. And actually, watch the beginning of that one.
No, I'll just pull up the thumbnail.
We couldn't do, like I said, we couldn't do any of this documentation where we can do what we do and have, you know, the presentation to you guys. So this one, yeah, the Viola School. So I have to thank Jared. Huge thank you to Jared, our camera operator / art director. We're really kind of fitting into that artist role, which really fits in the whole camera operation thing. Mind you, he's just recording this part, so that's all I'm going to have to work with. Jared's game just looped. He's awesome. So a huge asset, and that's the cool thing with Ghost Crier. Each team member has their position to kind of excel the overall vision of progressing the field forward. Example, we have a historian who doesn't go on site with us, not all the time, sometimes he does, but he teaches history. He's our historian. He fits that category. He's passionate about that. We also have a talent that shows up on some of the videos occasionally, but she caters our events. We feed you guys. Yum, right? She's a vegan, and I gotta tell you, I'm a meat eater. I'm a meat eater, and she loves good food.
Nothing against vegan. Sorry if it just offended you. I'm a super picky eater. No, but I'm a super picky eater. It's amazing.
Like 15 people out there going, oh,
I know.
man, Kelly.
You know, you can't take me anywhere.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you.
It's 2017. Gotta be careful what you say, Kelly.
Yeah. She's out of the group. We need someone new.
Bye, guys.
Okay, no, see you. Thank you, Kelly. So the neat thing, like I said, with the team is we put together this unit to really excel ourselves in front of people, which is kind of intimidating to begin with, because now we're positioning ourselves in a pseudoscience field where everyone has an opinion, everyone has a theory, and that's great. But we're really getting a lot of hands-on work, and we use a lot of that experience tied in with theories and tied in with other communication sessions, and we've been very, very, very fortunate enough to get consistent results. And that's ultimately why you guys are here. If some of you guys are planning on investigating in the future, Maddie, got a up and word, yo. So we have, we have a conduction style that's morphed, that's been tailored through trial and error. Ultimately, we tried the whole digital EVP sitting in the dark for 8 hours.
Is there anybody here? And it's just us in a dark room.
We're like
completely quiet. You can hear it so quiet you can hear planes flying over on the
what was
monitor.
that? Yeah. Yeah. And how many EVP do we get out of those sessions?
Like 1 out of 8 hours.
I know. I think we're trying to squeeze like 2. Like we're like, come on, guys. This says I love you. It doesn't. We know this now. And there's a thing called pareidolia in the field. It's psychology, the term that basically indicates the ink blot of the mind. So as humans, we like to associate with familiarities, such as like smells, sights, what we hear, tastes, touches, the whole works. So pareidolia is huge in this type of field because we hear and we can go off deep end and be like, it just said my name is George. I'm like, did it say his name is George? I have to hear my name is George to really justify that. And through our techniques and our tactics, and knowing our software and some of the other more behind the scenes equipment, we're able to now when we hear live, because we do hear a lot of this stuff live, but it's still hard. Nick and we've been getting used to the tools that we use. As you use it more and more and more, and we're in this every week, sometimes every day, moving forward and past. It's interesting because as he uses the spirit box, as I hear it, we're now noticing behaviors that that we recognize as responses. And when we go back to review, we're able to locate those responses. A lot of it is that dip in the audio. After we ask a question, you hear, it's like, and that's a good indication that something manipulated those waves. What that is it something? I mean, we do dig into that a lot deeper. And all we really do is knock out some background noise, slow. I mean, I don't think we speed up anything. That's ridiculous. But we slow appropriately. We slow a phrase that potentially could be something, or we reverse it. I mean, that's pretty much our 3 tactics. Other than that, it doesn't get layered. It doesn't, nothing like that. But there is ways that that we can locate this. We use an after the fact with software. Though we like to get those live responses, and we do hear live responses that maybe another individual who's watching cannot hear, because mind you, going into this blind, these are noisy instruments. They're tough to come out with evidence. So we don't expect everyone in the room to be on this kind of same page as frequently as we are. But it's good to recognize it and then come back later to them and be like, hey, we slowed it down for you a bit. Boom, there's a phrase. So how we conduct and what really gets us, the last year, we've been 100%, wherever we go. And it's awesome, because this validates a few things. It validates spirits are everywhere. And mind you, they are, but it's good to actually come in contact. People are like, oh, my house isn't haunted. And that's fine. Your house, there's spirits there, but haunting, what level of activity is it? And mind you, well, is it level 1, level 2, level 3? I haven't made a chart, but you understand it.
We have a terror level.
Yeah, it's an E6 specter.
It's a green day today. You're fine.
So we should start. I thought about coining a word and just seeing if it takes off. I don't even know when I'm gonna. I don't know. We'll figure it out. You guys can help me out with that. The neat thing with the spiritual communication that we're pushing forward, it does allow us to open up that form of interaction. The Ouija board, Ouija board's scary, right? How many people, you guys use the Ouija board? Who wants to admit it?
Who's afraid of the Ouija board? That's a more common thing than people that use it.
The instruments that we use are about...
When I turn this on and start recording, I'm doing the same thing that you do with a Ouija board.
Same exactly. We're
You're establishing communication.
About 10, 100-fold.
It's the same thing. It's just most people that are afraid of the Ouija board use the digital recorder. You're doing the same thing. Think about it.
The interesting with the Ouija board, or how you present yourself, is the conductor. So let me kind of speak a little bit about the conductor themselves. And this is really how you open up that form of communication and get those reactions after the fact. Is the conductor himself or herself would have to build up the, really the intent. What intent does the conductor have? So if a Ouija board is in play and that conductor has a negative intent, even with a digital recorder, or spirit box, or so forth, you're going to get a negative response, most likely, because you're pulling in that energy. You're allowing that energy to come in. And we've seen it happen, unfortunately. We don't. We personally don't do that, but I guess we've heard other stories. We keep everything very positive, very light-hearted, and we feel we get a better reaction that way. The Ouija board it gets a bad name. At the end of the day, it's the conductor. It's the intent of what they want to do. And let me kind of focus on the conductor a little bit, because the conductor is so important to drive the investigation. So if you have someone who's a good conductor, and this is someone who's built that rapport, and we'll go back to rapport in a moment here, but the conductor themselves are someone that has to be trustworthy, has to be very legit, very, very real to the spirits. And the spirits can see energy level. We've been called out before on the fires inside him and so forth, and complimented here and there in a lot of our sessions as well. We've been hit on before. That happens a lot more.
Aaron is what? Beautiful?
I'm amazing. I look amazing. This is true. This is true, guys. So, my house isn't haunted at all. But I can get conversation each time I pop that bad boy open. majority day-to-day spirits don't care about us. I mean, they've been in their form maybe for a very long time, some of them, maybe some not so long, but they understand that we can't see them on a day-to-day. They now just don't care. They just do their thing, do the thing, do the thing, do the thing. They're everywhere, trust me, even your house, probably your bathroom. I'm kidding, well maybe not, but they don't care.
The spirits at his house prefer sausage pizza.
This is true.
We asked that. What's your favorite kind of pizza? Sausage.
We also have a virgin in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Questions we ask. Yeah, we don't do that on TV, guys. Gosh, where are we going with this? If you went to a more responsive location, such as Edinburgh Manor, you can open up that facet there, open up that communication, and those spirits are known to do more physical stuff, and such as that's knocking on a wall, or mess with the EMF detectors. Mind you guys, the science of EMF, just for those up and coming investigators and maybe those more seasoned, or maybe those who just don't know why we use these blinky light things, the science of them is it detects radiation. So it detects emitting energy, man-made energy. The phenomena with that is it free-floating? Science, not supposed to be free-floating. So that makes it a phenomenon. Is that a spirit? I don't know. But it's cool because that's not supposed to happen. So you don't get those too often, but we were lucky enough to actually catch and document a free-floating one, so that's kind of cool. And that's on our YouTube as well.
You guys want to see a cool demonstration in reversing audio?
Yeah. Yes.
Do I?
But of course we do, Nick.
Do we?
I don't know. Mine? I don't know. Do I? Bum. Louis. Bob.
Mama.
As soon as we get started.
Ma.